to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Pace, and welcome back for everyone who is already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including one coming at you right now with an undefeated 135-pound pro MMA fighter about ready to talk about his upcoming 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 23 fight, which is going to be happening September 21st at the Monroeville Convention Center. Put your imaginary hands together for the one, the only, Anthony Hounddog Hogeback. Anthony, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
It's great always, anytime we can have you on the show. You made your pro debut. You came onto the show and talk about it for a different organization, not 247. Got a great first round, 30-second knockout. What does it feel like coming into your second pro fight, and then also it being a 247 fight?
Yeah, I think it's super cool to be fighting like pretty locally, I see guys like Lucas and Patton fighting all the time locally, and they're growing their fan base. So that's something I definitely wanted to do or start to do. So I'm super happy that I can fight at home for 247. And hopefully we can pack that place out. So I'm super excited about that.
It's great to have that fight matched up for you, having now spent several months training after your pro debut win, and that win getting there as about as good as you can. What has it been like as far as confidence, but also still knowing that, you're brand new to the pro ranks and kind of development? Stout, it has been developing so many great pros, including yourself. You mentioned several of the other ones.
Yeah, I feel like I really didn't even actually take a break, really. I just remember like being at the beach like a couple days right after I fought, and then like it felt like right when I came back, I was just like right into training every day again. So, in that sense, I just feel like I've just been training like normal. That's just what I do. That's just part of my schedule every day. So, um, I've just been focusing on just getting better, just really building my like skill set. I've been focusing on certain things. And just really dialing in on those things. Just really trying to be a student of certain martial arts, and it's been going really good. I feel myself getting better. I feel my skill set growing. Um, so that's what I've been up to, and I'm just happy doing that. As long as I'm getting better, like I know that I'm in the right place. So you know.
Yeah, you really are a student of the game, and training at Stout. You've got a lot of great talent around you. The coaching. What specific martial arts? You mentioned that you're rounding out your martial arts and really being a student. In the last couple of months, what martial arts have you been maybe developing the most?
I've been working on my striking like a
Mm.
lot. That's always been one of my strong suits, I feel like, but I'm just really trying to be like a great striker. Like I don't want to be a good striker. I want to be a great striker. So, just watching a lot of like high level guys and how they strike, and then just going to every single class that I can possibly make to Coach Will Morrell.
Mm.
Just like unlocking a different part of my brain that I wasn't using. So that, and then when I go to Mike's jiu-jitsu classes, or I went to a Logan Stout jiu-jitsu class last night, like we're learning like specific stuff like for jiu-jitsu. And I think learning those specific things and really focusing on just those things while you're doing those things, instead of like, because sometimes when you're an MMA fighter and you're doing these certain martial arts, you're always like trying to think like, how am I going to blend this into MMA? Like it always comes back to MMA. Where the last couple months I've just been like really focusing on like just jujitsu or like just striking.
Well, that makes sense, and everybody has a different style. Clearly, training at Stout, you're able to train those specific martial arts and then develop your own sense of how to blend them and merge them, which is great. It was announced your opponent is making his pro debut against you, which makes sense. You're one to know he's making his pro debut. He's on a 4-fight win streak in his amateur, finishing up his amateur. Hats off to him for coming into his pro debut on a streak like that. What are your thoughts on him? What do you know about him? And kind of how do you gear into this fight? Are you planning on specifically kind of approaching his style, or is it more about, you know, developing your own style and kind of seeing how that matches up against him on the 21st of September?
Well, funny enough, actually, I've been offered him twice as an amateur. So I've looked at him prior to even knowing about this potential opportunity. So um I'm aware of him. I'm aware of his skill set. He's definitely you got to respect the skill set. He's not bad anywhere. Um but with that being said, yeah, I'm just focused on what I'm gonna do, focused on myself, That's it's me versus me in there. Like as cliche and corny as that sounds, like, you know, that's how you got to think. So
I think that really is some of the best mindset to have. I sometimes talk on this show about kind of like the mental side and really focusing on the controllables, focusing on what you can control. You can't control what your opponent does. You can control what you do to him, and then therefore makes him respond in a certain way, which is
right,
how you start. So makes perfect sense. The mindset, obviously, in the pro ranks, there really shouldn't be any easy fight. You made your first fight look easy, which is great. That's awesome when it happens. But the pro level, everybody should be good, and getting harder the farther in you go. So I think it's great. I think it's also wonderful that this fight almost happened at amateurs, now is happening at pro, because I think a lot of times when you're at a higher level amateur, the pro rules make more sense. And of course, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, their advanced amateur rules is kind of a hybrid. So you didn't really get to use a lot of the extended rules because your fight was relatively short. The three 5 minute rounds, 15 minutes versus 9 minutes max as an amateur. How do you think you're doing on the cardio endurance side? And if this fight, which I'm sure you're going to want it to finish earlier, but if this fight were to go 15 minutes, how do you feel you would be as far as the decision side of things?
yeah. I've always personally thought like, um, you know, I get better as the fight gets on, like goes on. Like that's how my sparring rounds typically go as well. Like I get better throughout the round. So like that's where I really start to find like my flow and stuff. So if it starts to get into like the deep parts of the fight, like I'm fine there. The cardio is not an issue. Considering that we've sparred 5 minute rounds for sparring as an amateur at Stout anyhow. So I've been sparring rounds for a while. So yeah, I think if anything, it just helps my game, honestly.
I mean, that's a lot of that preparation. Like, that's the preparation where you can have the confidence. If you prepare right, then I mean, I would imagine a 15-minute pro fight still is a lot, but at the same time, you're prepared for it. And I do know, generally speaking, it's a great idea. Stouts, the two-time out of two times, it's the 247 Gym of the Year. The both times that 247's been doing it, two times Coaches of the Year, both Will Morrell and Mike Wilkins. So it's really a top end gym. There's a lot of great Pittsburgh gyms. We can't forget, obviously, the Mad Factory and the Academy, and there's a lot of great gyms. But you're a great representative of Stout, which goes a long way. What would you like? This is your time to talk, whether you want to make a prediction or just kind of give your thoughts on the matchup. And what would you like the fight to go, and why do you think this will be an exciting fight for people to watch?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't do predictions really. I feel like you might try to force something. So
Sure.
I just take what's given. And I just think you can watch a very exciting fight. I don't fight, I fight to finish fights. So that's how I fight. And, I feel like that's how it's going to go. So I just expect the show. That's all.
Makes perfect sense. Love the mindset to expect a show. Always wonderful having you on this show here. Can't wait to see it. You're a big part of the 247 Fighting Championships Brawl in the Burgh 23, September 21st at Monroeville Convention Center. A lot of great fights have already been announced, you being one of them, several other pro fights, some great amateur fights, and of course, they have much more to announce. Now's the time for everybody to get tickets from the Hounddog himself, from anybody at the gym. Also, if you're going to buy online, 247fighting.com, make sure you give Hounddog credit for getting the tickets. Or if you're going to be out of the area and can't make it to the Monroeville Convention Center, then go ahead and download now the 247 Live app, which is a great app for any smart device. And you can go ahead and get your pay-per-view and also give Anthony Hounddog Hogeback credit. Always wonderful having you on the show. I can't wait to see you and really everybody on that card. It's going to be an incredible card. I appreciate you coming on both when you fight for 247 and also we were just covering here your fight outside of 247 when you made your pro debut. So I hope to continue to follow you individually, no matter where you fight or where you go, because obviously it's super exciting that I started covering you when you're an amateur, and I can't wait to see where your career goes. But the next fight of your pro career, just a couple weeks away, September 21st. Thanks so much for coming on the show. You've been listening to Luke Payson with the one, the only, Anthony Hounddog Hogeback. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you.
You got it.